Hello there. We have another duet for you today. This is called La Romanesca. It could be reference to Romania, or what are the people who are sometimes referred to as Roma or Gypsies. So it's a stylistic kind of cultural illusion here. At least that's what I'm getting out of it. And this has some interesting things in it. It's got kind of like a drone going on in the second part, one of those boring second parts that I talked about previously. We'll see if we can make it musically interesting. Now, when I think of quote unquote gypsy music, I think of a lot of the Hungarian rhapsodies, for example. There is an amazingly highly decorated style, but a lot of this music is really dance music, and so it has to have a sense of lift, of buoyancy, of bounce to it, and much music is like that. But it also can have kind of a mournful quality to it as well. It's very interesting. So see, I'm just ruminating here. I'm just coming up with the imagination that is going to help me to get this music to make sense for somebody who's listening to it. Give it some kind of character. They don't even need to know where it is. They don't need to know where the spices come from or what culture the food comes from. All they need to do is get a clear sense of what the flavor is. And they may like it or they may not, but at least you've done your job as the cook, trying to prepare it as well as possible. So I'll play through this. I'm going to play the second part to begin with again. Second part starts on the second bar. So my upbeat is going to be, I'm going to give an upbeat to the first bar, which is, and then we're going to come in on the second bar. It can be a little bit confusing, but let's give this a try. Okay. Every time it's different. It's so interesting. So do you hear that boom, boom, boom? When I'm doing that, something you want to listen for in terms of the musical ingredients, the spices I was talking about. Now, if you put a tuner on that, you'd hear that the pitch stays the same, but the timbre and the dynamics change. And that makes it sound a little bit more natural, a little bit more vocal. So that's not an easy thing to do with good control on the trumpet. It's sometimes challenging to keep the notes perfectly steady in terms of the pitch and the color of the note. And that's kind of the starting point, just trying to do that. So this is someplace where you can work on one of those essential skills, which is allowing the notes to taper without losing any of the quality of the voice, of your voice, the tonal quality, the beauty in the sound, and without losing control over the pitch or the timbre, having it do exactly what you want it to do. Again, that starts in your imagination. Let me go ahead and play the first part, and then you'll have a little bit more of the melody. Okay, some flaws in that one. I think it'll work for you to play along with, but I want to point out one other thing, and then we'll move along. You hear the grace notes. That causes some people problems. If you just take the grace notes out, and then moving along, so they're just little inflections that add to the feeling of movement. It's like a tiny little gesture that gives a little quick movement in there, and it doesn't change the rhythm. It doesn't change the beat pattern. It doesn't change the values of the eighth notes, as you can hear. So those are little details that it might be helpful for you to listen for. Now, one thing we can't do since we're not together, we're not in person, is we can't really work on balance, and we can't work on accommodating our sound to one another. And this is, I was just working with one of my students on this recently, and it's a critically important thing for music that's more than one person to sound well together, so that you're kind of intimately musically coordinating yourselves with one another in order to get the desired result, which is not each individual part, but the sum of the two parts together, which is greater than each individual part. It's a synergy. So I'll be thinking about how to do that, but I can't think right now how it would be possible to actually work on blend and balance. In this situation, you have to accommodate yourself to me. So I'm playing, you're playing this through speakers ostensibly, and that means that you can turn it up or down as you wish and play along with that and find the right balance. I did something a little bit unusual when I played the second part. When I made the repeat the last time, I went down to a softer dynamic level, just feeling the music, but not doing exactly what the music said. That's something that would kind of throw off the first trumpet player if that's not what they were expecting. And that's part of that intimate relationship between the two players in a duet, or between anybody playing chamber music, anybody playing in any ensemble, as a matter of fact. So please join me next time, and I'll be thinking about, you'll be thinking about it too. How can we possibly do that? I can't imagine unless we're in person. So hopefully I'll get to meet you sometime. I will catch you later on. Please join me for the next one. Bye-bye.